This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'd like to be joined by Joshua Franco, the professor, this evening. Joshua, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. Now, you're days away from challenging for the WBA World Super Flyweight title. How does that sound, Josh? And how are you feeling knowing that your time is almost here now?
Feeling excited. I'm just ready for that moment already and ready to go.
What has the last few days sort of been like for you? It's an interesting setup in Las Vegas there. I've been keeping an eye on the shows. I've been staying up. What's it been like approaching a fight like this behind closed doors?
It's very excited. Me and my team. We're excited for the opportunity. We've been pushing ourselves to the limit, and Tuesday night is in the show.
It's an incredibly unique situation to be in, preparing for the biggest fight of your career, preparing for a world title fight, in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Is there anything you've had to adjust in camp, and have you managed to get plenty of sparring, etc. still?
Yes, sir. Of course, getting plenty of good sparring. It's been the same thing. No changes in camp. Just because I just gotta be more careful. When if I decide to go, to the groceries or something. Don't want to catch any of the corona or nothing.
How much notice have you had for this fight, Joshua?
I had about like 4 weeks notice. But before that I was already training like 2 weeks.
Do you recall that moment when you told you were going to be handed a world title shot, that it was finally there? What was that like, and what was the reaction like back home as well when you told loved ones?
Yeah, my dad had called me, and he had told me that I was gonna be fighting for the world title, and if you want to do it, I said, of course, I'm gonna take it. Not everybody gets opportunity, and I know that I've been dreaming about this. I'm ready for it, and it's just finally here.
Now, you're going to be taking on Andrew Maloney, unbeaten Australian fighter. I'm sure you've watched plenty of him, Joshua. What do you make of Andrew as a fighter ahead of this fight?
He's a tough, undefeated fighter. He has a lot of heart. He doesn't back down, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Without giving away your whole game plan, I know you won't want to sit here and do that. What do you see as the keys to victory? What sort of things will you be focusing on?
Just overall, all my skills. Using all my skills in the ring, and doing what I do.
Now, the WBA have said previously that Andrew will be Chocolatito's next opponent. He was in line to face Roman Gonzalez. He's took this fight with yourself. Is that extra motivation for you, knowing that you can not only become WBA world champion, but if you win, there's a fight there with a ring icon as well, Roman Gonzalez. I know that's a fight you've spoken of before.
Yes, sir. That is motivation. I've been trying to, I've been wanting the, Roman Gonzalez fight too, and going to be change of plans on Tuesday night.
Now, just to go back to those 3 fights you had with Oscar Negrete, how good an experience was that for preparing for a championship fight like this? 3 fights where, punch stats were broken, records shattered, 30 competitive high energy rounds you guys shared. How perfect is that preparing for this big stage now?
Oh, it's really perfect. 30 rounds with a tough contender like Oscar Negrete. I even have a win over him. It prepared me very well. It showed me that I could fight, push myself to the limit for, 10, 30, actually 30 rounds with this guy. Mentally I'm ready. I know what it takes, to actually win a belt. And, I'm just ready.
We saw you in January, I think it was. You secured a stoppage win. It was the first time not sharing a ring with Oscar for some time. Be honest, going into that fight, was it nice just to see someone else across the ring other than Oscar?
Of course, and not only that, that's when I noticed, that I had gained a lot more experience. I was more relaxed, more calm. Little by little, I just broke my opponent down, and I'm just getting better as the fights go on.
Is that what makes you so assured going into this world title fight? You mentioned there you saw the progress when you finally stepped away from facing Oscar those 3 times, and then all of a sudden you've got the stoppage win. Do you feel that confidence sort of running through you now?
Of course, ever since those last fights, they gave me that confidence. They gave me that experience, and I'm just overall I'm a better complete fighter now.
I just wanted to talk to you, Joshua, about the influence of Robert Garcia. How long has it been now since you've been working with Robert, since the first day you sort of walked down to the academy?
5 years now.
How would you sum up the influence that Robert's had in that time, if it's possible to put into words what he's done for you, not only as a fighter, as a human being as well?
Oh yeah, he's done so much for me for my career. He's always talking to me, lecturing me about life, about about what I need to do in life. Not only that, but in boxing, he's more like family now.
You're also surrounded by a hell of a lot of world-class talent down there at the academy. What's that like for you? And are you conscious of that, of absorbing everything that they do and taking little bits and pieces from those guys? Is that something you're aware of?
Of course, since the first day I stepped in foot in the gym, I just took full advantage of that. Right here in camp, I've been talking with Mikey, Jose Ramirez, and they just been telling me everything, all their little tricks and ideas that they're world champions. They know what it takes. So I'm very blessed to have them here. We also have Virgil Ortiz, Abner Mares, and a whole lot of talent here.
Now, when you look at how your style sort of developed in that time you've been with Robert, what sort of things you've been adding to the game, your game particular, over sort of the last 12 months? Has there been anything in particular you guys have been working on?
No, I just feel like I'm getting better, as a fighter with, each fight, I'm learning more. I watch a lot of boxing footage when I'm, in my room, and when I get bored, I'll put on a boxing fight or something, and you know, uh so I'll take the ideas to the gym, and me and Robert will just, work on different things.
You spent time at bantamweight, you spent time at super flyweight, you challenged him for a super flyweight world title in just a matter of days. How do you feel at that weight? Do you feel like that's your ideal weight, super fly?
Yes, for right now, I wanna capture a couple world titles at, super flyweight, maybe three, who knows? But as soon as I can't make the weight anymore, I will back up to 118.
Having dedicated your life to boxing, can you sum up for me, if you can, what it would mean to win that WBA belt when we see you in the ring in Las Vegas in just a few days' time?
It'll mean the world to me. Open up huge doors, put me on top. With the greats. Then that's where I want to be, and I know what I want. And I know what it takes, and I will be there. And soon on Tuesday, people are gonna see.
Now, Joshua, as you're approaching the biggest fight of your career, the chance to become world champion, I just wanted to take it back a little bit, back to where it all began. Do you recall the first time you ever went down a boxing gym? Why was it, and how old were you?
I was 13 years old. I had been wanting to box since I was a little kid, 9 years old, 10. I was watching all of the HBO fights at my house. Me and my family, we would have barbecues and invite the whole family over, and I just remember always watching the fights in front of the TV, and also my dad was a huge Mike Tyson fan, and I remember a couple of times when we were little kids, he took me and my brothers, to do a meet and greet with Mike Tyson, and we even had pictures with him. It's crazy now that I look at the pictures and stuff, but I guess boxing, it was destined for me.
Now, you mentioned there, the influence of Mike Tyson and watching those HBO fights. Has been such a rich history of great fighters on HBO over the years. Was there anyone in particular that stood out for you, though? Any fighters when you first started getting into boxing that you like to study, that you like to particularly watch for any reason?
Yeah, well, Brandon Rios was one of my favorite fighters. Mikey Garcia, I've always watched them when I was amateur coming up. Lomachenko, Marquez, Pacquiao, all of the greats, Cotto. I like watching Mayweather too. He's a very good fighter.
Now, as I said to you, Joshua, I don't want to keep you too long when you are days away from the biggest fight of your life. So I'm going to leave you with the final message, the final word to everyone backing you, everyone giving you messages of support ahead of this world title charge. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of my supporters, all of my fans. We've come a long way, and the opportunity is finally here. We're gonna take full advantage of it. Make sure you tune in to ESPN Tuesday night and watch me capture my first world title.
Joshua, thank you so much for your time. All the best with the fight, and I'm sure we'll catch you very soon. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.